On December 16, 2023, the spotlight was on UFC 296's main event, where Leon Edwards went head-to-head with Colby Covington. Like many UFC nights, the arena buzzed not only with fight fans, but a slew of celebrities and influencers. Yet, the most talked-about attendee that evening was none other than Donald Trump, longtime friend of UFC President Dana White and former President of the United States. Among the crowd was N3on, who had snagged tickets alongside Sneako, well aware of Trump's presence. Earlier that day, N3on shared a bold message with his followers during a live stream. Listen up, chat. Today. We've got 4 seats at the UFC event tonight, and trust me, it's going to be a wild experience. Every celebrity you can think of is going to be there. But here's the catch. Donald Trump is coming with the Secret Service. He paused briefly, then laid out his plan with unapologetic confidence. I'm gonna walk right up, talk my expletive to Trump. Secret Service or not, I don't care. It's going to be one hell of an experience. I'm not holding back, and honestly, I don't think the Secret Service is about to jump on me. We should be fine. Nah, say. The recklessness of threatening a former president while acknowledging the Secret Service's presence was glaringly obvious. Yet, what made the situation even more concerning was N3on's setting. He was streaming from outside a gun range, and within minutes, he was reportedly wandering around with an RPG in hand. Clearly, he viewed it all as a stunt to grab attention, seemingly indifferent to the severe consequences that could come from such behavior. But notoriety doesn't guarantee immunity, especially when dealing with figures like Dana White and the Secret Service. Word of N3on's intentions quickly reached Dana White. Moments later, N3on received the bad news. He was not permitted entry into the stadium. Apparently, N3on's not allowed in, said a contact. They dropped your name specifically. N3on's disbelief was clear. Wait, I'm not allowed in. You said it was specifically me? Now I need to get in touch about a refund. The response was firm. No, you're staying in the car. This came as a shock to N3on, who's used to pushing boundaries without much pushback. However, this time he had tangled with the wrong people. When questioned about the incident during the post-fight press conference, Dana White didn't hold back. There's a popular streamer online called N3on, he explained. He said he was banned from the arena tonight. What really happened is he said some stupid stuff on Instagram. He bought tickets but wasn't anywhere near the event when he started spouting nonsense. Dana expressed his disdain plainly. When you start saying dumb things like that, making threats, looking for clout, you're bound to get busted and thrown out. I don't care what exactly he said. I think he planned to confront Donald Trump, but that's just reckless and foolish. In the end, N3on's stunt didn't just cost him a night at the UFC. It served as a cautionary tale about the limits of online bravado when it crosses into dangerous territory. Do I care what he said? Not really. He's just a tall punk, someone remarked dismissively. It was clear that the comment hadn't impressed many. Back in Dana's era, someone acting like N3on would have easily earned a punch in the face. But these days, we've entered a strange new world where such behavior often gets rewarded online. Sneako didn't hold back his thoughts shortly after the incident. You guys don't get it. This kid needs to shape up in every way. It's bad, really bad. Clout changes your principles. He doesn't even realize it, but it's harmful, he said earnestly. While it's a bit ironic coming from Sneako, who himself is no stranger to chasing clout, his point stood firm. If N3on wasn't getting positive reinforcement from all the views and attention, the attention only fuels more outrageous behavior. The very next day, N3on's manager stepped in with a public apology on Twitter. Out of respect for UFC, Dana White, Red Rock, and notably the greatest president to ever live, He acknowledged his client's unacceptable conduct the night before. It was a turning point. Last night was the final straw. No more disrespectful trolling. N3on seemed to take the message to heart. A few days later, he went live and offered a sincere apology. "I want to start by apologizing to UFC, Donald Trump, and Dana White for everything I said. That night, when I had the camera on, I blacked out. I didn't even realize what I was saying. It hit me later, chat. I was doing way too much. Talking crazy without thinking," he confessed. "I don't even try to get clips or aim for attention. I just say whatever's on my mind. I feel safe behind the screen, but in reality, I'm in the real world where someone could truly come after me. I didn't understand that. I want to sincerely apologize. I didn't mean anything I said. It should have never come out of my mouth. I take full responsibility." That same night, around 3 a.m., Dana White called N3on to the Red Rock Hotel for a chat. It was the first time N3on apologized to someone face-to-face. Dana accepted it, leaving a strong impression. "It made me realize I'm not some big tough guy. I'm a loser, and I need to acknowledge that," N3on reflected. "He didn't have to accept my apology. He could have just told me off to my face, but he accepted it. I appreciate that, bro. If you see this clip, thanks a lot. W Dana in the chat." N3on then clipped his apology and shared it on his YouTube channel. However, the reception was icy. It seemed like many remained skeptical of his sudden change of heart. Let me start by addressing something important. N3on's recent apology. He didn't just lash out at famous people. He's been rude to everyday individuals too. I'd even bet $1,000 that in the next 2 streams he'll say something outrageous again. The thing is, he's not truly sorry for what he said. He's only sorry that his actions caught up with him and landed him in hot water. This is exactly why people find his apologies hard to believe. N3on has been far worse to ordinary folks without showing any remorse. It was only after he crossed the line with people who are richer and more powerful that he suddenly showed regret. This pattern makes it tough to trust that he'll truly change, and I wouldn't be surprised if he stumbles into another controversy sooner rather than later. Speaking of bets, this video is brought to you by MyBookie. One of the best parts of watching sports is guessing how things will unfold, right? Usually, if you follow a sport closely, you have insights to make smarter predictions, and it's incredibly satisfying when you're right. I've been really into combat sports lately, and I've been using MyBookie to put my predictions to the test with real stakes. Guess what? I nailed my first 4 bets, 4 for 4, and I'm eager to keep this winning streak alive as the new year kicks off. We've got some thrilling matchups coming up. Volkanovski returning to the octagon against Ilia Topuria after that tough first-round loss to Islam Makhachev. Sean Strickland defending his middleweight title against Dricus du Plessis, who took the belt from Israel Adesanya. And Tyson Fury aiming to bounce back from his disappointed outing against Francis Ngannou by facing Alexander. These fights promise a ton of excitement, and there will be plenty more to come. So, don't miss out. Head over to MyBookie to place your bets. If you sign up through the link in the description and use the promo code TELLUSMORE, you can snag up to a $200 cash bonus on your first deposit. It's a fantastic way to get started, so make sure you check it out. Now, here's something you might not know. N3on wasn't always the toxic figure he's become. His online journey started all the way back in 2016, when he made his YouTube channel. Back then, he was just 12 years old, uploading NBA 2K videos with the same hopeful dreams many kids have, to grow into a successful YouTuber. As he once said, "Hopefully one day someone big will recognize my grind, or maybe I'll blow up." I hope one day. He was consistent and kept uploading content, but despite all his efforts, his channel didn't gain much traction. Lost among countless other gaming videos, there was nothing about his channel that made it stand out. This led to real frustration. Viewers started flooding his comment sections with discouraging messages, telling him his channel was dead. He even responded, saying, "Bro, y'all are really demotivating me right now with all these comments saying my channel is dead. I get it, but let me grind harder and go crazy. I'm trying. I've been at this YouTube thing for over a year now. It's kind of demotivating that Understanding this early struggle adds some context to who he became. People began to stop supporting me, but that's okay. I was determined to keep pushing forward. Even when things weren't going well, I refused to give up. I was ready to do whatever it took to succeed on this platform. I kept posting videos, experimenting with different styles and personas. Eventually, I found a strategy that worked. My content took a surprising turn when I started posting videos where I rage, screaming into the microphone, letting out raw frustration. These videos grabbed a lot more attention than my usual content. Fans loved it. My channel started gaining real traction thanks to this new style. But the big breakthrough came on March 22, 2019. Ronnie 2K, a well-known NBA 2K player, tweeted about someone impersonating his son on YouTube saying, "Okay, serious question. Where did this guy come from who's posing as my son on YouTube? I don't have any children. This isn't a situation where I'm hiding the world from my kid, lol." Of course, that impersonator was me, N3on. I used Ronnie's name to drive more viewers to my channel. Many people tagged me in Ronnie's tweets, and later that same day, I uploaded a video titled, "Ronnie 2K Exposed Me on Twitter." In it, I explained that Ronnie was confused about the whole situation. But for me, it was all part of the fun and games my streams were known for sharing. Even though Ronnie publicly called me out, I didn't shy away. I kept posting videos with Ronnie 2K's son in the title, embracing clickbait if it meant more views. This strategy worked spectacularly. In just a few months, my average views jumped from a few thousand to tens of thousands, and my subscriber numbers soared. I was finally achieving the success I'd been chasing. But the habits I picked up during this period would eventually lead me down a path I couldn't undo. On December 21, 2019, when my channel hit around 240,000 subscribers, a video was uploaded titled, "N3on is dying." It claimed I was in critical condition, with my brother uploading it to draw attention to the situation. The video said I was battling a deadly brain tumor that caused me to have 3 to 5 seizures daily. 2 days later, another video appeared called N3on's Final Words. In it, I addressed those who thought the situation was a joke. For everyone who thinks this is a joke, bro, this is serious. What's happening to me isn't something to be taken lightly. You shouldn't be messing around with this. Listen, man, this is serious stuff people actually go through. There's no reason to make jokes about it. If anyone's laughing or saying it's fake, honestly, that's just cruel. And just so you know, I'm going to be recording some videos with other YouTubers, so you guys will still see me around for a bit. At least until, well, if this surgery doesn't go well. Because if it doesn't, I could literally bleed out and die. Yeah, it's that serious. But here's where things got confusing. N3on supposedly was in critical condition, and then, just 2 days later, we see a video of him chilling in his room like nothing happened. It didn't add up. People noticed the inconsistencies, but those concerns were largely ignored. Instead, they released a so-called farewell video, highlighting his best moments and implying it was his final goodbye. And then, just days later, boom, another video pops up titled, "I'm alive." He explained in that video, "I had surgery, and honestly the odds were 50-50. Either I bleed out or survive." It was an emotional roller coaster. That's why I wasn't uploading anything for those couple of days. I've just been resting. To anyone calling this fake, you're missing the point. This isn't a joke. I'm serious here. But come on, it was painfully clear by then. There was no way someone bounced back from brain surgery that fast, with zero signs of trauma or even a bandage. It was a messed up lie. Unsurprisingly, the backlash poured in. People called him out hard. Some people are really dying out here, battling serious stuff. I talk to folks struggling with suicidal thoughts, and try to help. Then there's you faking this for views. Karma's gonna catch up to you, man. Faking your death for clicks. That's as low as it gets. Yeah, he deserved the heat. But here's the twist. Ironically, all the drama gave N3on a massive boost. More people were talking about him than ever before. Other YouTubers made videos about the stunt, generating millions of views and instantly increasing his exposure. Around this time, he upped his Fortnite content, and suddenly, his videos started pulling in hundreds of thousands of views, something he could barely dream of just months prior. This was a dangerous lesson for N3on. He learned two key things. Deceiving his audience and throwing epic tantrums brought success. Those became his guiding principles moving forward. By late 2020, N3on started showing up in Adin Ross's videos, playing NBA 2K together. They created their new characters, jumped into the virtual park, and went on a wild 100-game winning streak. They kept playing for like 13 hours straight, riding that wave of momentum. The collaboration marked a new chapter for N3on, stepping deeper into gaming and online communities. It was clear he was chasing success wherever he could find it, even if it meant blurring the lines of honesty. N3on's journey took a wild turn in 2021, when he quickly forged a connection with Adin Ross. Adin began featuring N3on prominently on his live streams, bringing him into the limelight and introducing him to a host of creators in the streaming world. One standout moment was when Adin put N3on front and center during streams, like Adin Ross puts N3on on the craziest blind date. His unpredictable, often toxic rants drew massive attention, with moments like, "I'm getting someone to rob your house," "suck the dreads face," becoming infamous. Whether viewers saw it as entertaining or chaotic, N3on was carving out a notorious reputation. Everyone was eager to see what shocking thing he would say or do next. By July 2023, N3on had outdone himself. During a call hosted by Adin Ross, N3on was introduced to Andrew Tate. The conversation took a wild turn when Andrew asked Adin to travel to Chile and Argentina to retrieve items for him, as house arrest confined Tate. N3on jumped in, warning about the dangers of the journey. What followed was a flurry of tense exchanges. "Killed there. Wait, it's bad out there. Yes, they kidnap and cut your body parts off, bro. Setting you up. They won't cut you. They can't mess with you. You've got a SpongeBob t-shirt and an inhaler. They're scared of you. Don't worry. You just teared up telling who? Tell him you're a streamer?" Andrew fired back with sharp jabs, calling out Adin as a loser in house arrest and mocking him and his brother. N3on, seemingly untouched by real-world consequences, embodied the notoriety of someone who'd never truly faced physical threats. It was as if he anticipated what was next. Just days after this explosive stream, he posted a video on Twitter showing himself being jumped. "Hey, look whose shoes we got. Got his ass lacking. Come on, bro. Got his ass lacking. What size y'all want? See what we're with. Shirt ripped, all types of stuff." But the community quickly grew skeptical. With N3on's history of fabricating stories and clickbait for views, the authenticity of the assault video was in doubt. Upon closer inspection, glaring inconsistencies surfaced. How could he have no visible injuries after being jumped and robbed? Why would the attackers record a video and send it to him? Why post it openly if it was genuine? The clear conclusion: it was staged, much like the time he faked his own death. Still, many reacted as if it was real, Andrew Tate even expressed sympathy, offering to mentor N3on once again. N3on had once more amplified his infamy through deception. No matter his antics, he seemed free from consequences. Yet, fate has a way of catching up. A month later, on September 3, 2023, N3on stepped into a different scene, a house party hosted by influencer Jack Doherty, filled with many prominent creators. This gathering would soon become the setting where N3on might finally face the reckoning he'd long avoided. Jack manages several OnlyFans creators, one of whom is Sam Frank, a 20-year-old TikTok star, and Jack's ex-girlfriend. When N3on met Sam during one of Jack's shoots, they hit it off almost immediately. Within a couple of weeks, Sam began appearing in N3on's streams. Videos like N3on and his girlfriend go on a shopping spree, and N3on takes his new girlfriend on a yacht were posted, their titles designed to boost engagement and clicks. Despite the clickbait, it was evident that there was some chemistry between them, or at the very least, Sam seemed capable of managing N3on's sometimes childish antics. Fans warmed to her presence, frequently requesting she feature more in his content, and gradually, Sam became a regular part of N3on's streams. By October, their relationship had grown close enough to become official. However, despite dating, their bond remained platonic. N3on was still a virgin, and Sam claimed she was celibate. They appeared happy together, but tensions soon began to surface. During one stream, N3on had Sam take a lie detector test, and the results raised eyebrows. When asked if she would talk to him if he had no clout or money, her initial answer was yes, but the test indicated otherwise. Questions about whether she was using him created a noticeable strain. Things escalated when the test inquired about her sexual activity in the past 3 weeks. Sam denied having sex, growing increasingly distressed, even tearing up and pleading to stop the test. Her intense emotional response seemed like a strategic move to deflect suspicion. As a woman observing the situation, it appeared that her tears were crocodile tears, a guilty reaction flaring into anger and upset, famously spilling the sentiment, "I hate you." Sneeko noticed this tension, while N3on seemed blind to it, maintaining his trust. However, the audience began to question Sam's true intentions, suspecting she was more interested in capitalizing on N3on's followers by driving traffic to her OnlyFans account. This suspicion was echoed by Myron Gaines from the Fresh and Fit podcast when N3on and Sam appeared as guests. Myron bluntly accused Sam of being a predatory female, asserting that she understood N3on's lack of self-awareness about his own value and was exploiting that for personal gain. He pointed out that N3on's audience, mostly young and impressionable men, is exactly what she targets to monetize her content and maintain her influence over him. This accusation fueled growing distrust around Sam, further complicating the dynamics between her and N3on, and highlighting the murky interplay of relationships, influence, and exploitation within this social media-influenced world. Picture this, a conversation where someone bluntly calls out another for sounding like a manipulator, insisting, "You're trying to spin a story that just isn't true. How can you not see that? This isn't some elaborate setup or plan. It's real." The tension crackles in the air, with truths hanging heavy between them. If you've ever tuned into the Fresh and Fit podcast, you're familiar with their often sharp and direct stance on relationships, especially concerning women. Sam found herself essentially outnumbered in this debate, up against 2 voices for the entire episode. Yet, despite the odds, she held her ground admirably. Still, the points that Myron raised were hard to overlook, and the reaction from viewers was clear. The comments section overwhelmingly sided with him. As autumn deepened, the relationship between N3on and Sam grew more tangible and intense. They shared their first kiss, an especially significant moment for N3on, as it marked his very first kiss ever. Their bond deepened with each passing day, drawing them closer than ever before. So much so that N3on began to drift away from other connections in his life. This shift didn't go unnoticed. Toward the end of October, N3on stepped onto his stream to deliver a heartfelt, cautionary message directly to N3on. He expressed genuine care and concern. "I love this kid. I gave him a platform, helped him restart streaming. I want nothing more than his success. But I can't stand by while a leech drains him, allowing bad influences to take hold." N3on captured a universally relatable sentiment, the intoxicating blur of a first love, where everything else seems to fade away. Yet, he warned N3on about losing touch with his friends and not balancing his life. Then came a serious accusation that cut deeper. N3on claimed that Sam had flown a guy out and spent the night with him during their relationship. He implored the community to put it on God, to prove him wrong, but showed skepticism. He cautioned N3on that if she was willing to do something like that already, despite publicly claiming him, greater betrayals could follow in the future. Despite the affection N3on showed, kissing, cuddling, experiencing the euphoria of new love, N3on insisted there was another girl out there for him. One who would want him for himself alone, free from the internet drama and the tangled complexities of a public relationship. These words from N3on seemed to linger in N3on's mind. The very next day at a Halloween party, he sought perspective from HS Tiki Talkie. The advice was blunt and clear, not to fall for an OnlyFans creator, but rather to focus on himself. Hit the gym, grow his brand, and prioritize personal development. The message was simple yet piercing. Now wasn't the time for romantic distractions, but for self-growth and groundwork toward a promising future. Tensions were running high as HS voiced his blunt opinion, right in front of Sam. He accused her of using N3on, and suggested that if he truly wanted companionship, he should seek out someone respectable, someone who didn't sell her body for money. The conversation quickly escalated into a heated argument. "You don't fancy him. You're just talking. You don't fancy him." Sam fired back. "I do, actually. You have no idea what's really going on." HS insisted. "He's told me you've not even slept together. If you liked him, in 4 or 5 weeks you'd be seeing each other every single day. You wouldn't even forget that." Sam countered. "I'm celibate, okay? But you do OnlyFans. This isn't serious, bro. She's milking you, making hundreds of thousands a month off you." HS pushed further. "She said she doesn't want to come on stream anymore. She doesn't care. She's done her damage. She's making hundreds of thousands a month off you. That's why she's just chilling with you. Otherwise she'd be with other guys every night. Girls fancy guys just as much as guys fancy girls. She wants to keep it friends because she's using you for clout. I don't care about that, but Jesus, you need to wake up, bro." It seemed like everyone around N3on shared the same viewpoint. Even Sneeko, who knew Sam better than most, warned him similarly. Sneeko told N3on that dating Sam was like shooting himself in the foot and was the reason he'd lost a lot of his friends. "In my opinion, you should have stayed loyal to your day ones instead of chasing after a girl you've only known a few months," he said. Despite all these warnings, N3on remained steadfast. He openly declared his love for Sam multiple times and didn't want anything to come between them. However, it was clear he seemed far more invested in the relationship than she was. No one could say for sure how things would turn out, but it wouldn't surprise anyone if N3on's story ended badly.